In this video, we're going to go over how to set up the email and how to register Shirt Chimp. Now, the steps that we're going to go through here are the same for any of the software from ShopCal Software. So it doesn't make a difference if it's Shirt Chimp, Quick Quote 4.0, Quick Quote 3.2, or any of those. It's basically the same steps. Now with Shirt Chimp, build 201502.17, went ahead and added up here on the menu bar. You've got this little computer here. Click on that upside down triangle there. We've added set up email in here. And so if you don't see this in here, then your build is not the number that I just stated, the 201502.17 or later. You can check that by clicking on the About, and right down here in the bottom is the build number. So like I said, if you don't see this up here, then you will need to run the updates and check for the latest build and install that build to be able to do this. So let's go ahead and go in here. We're going to click on Setup Email, and it brings up email settings deal. And in mine here, I have default, and I can name that whatever by changing this name here. And I also have a Gmail. Now the default, the way I have it set up, actually uses the email that's available through my hosting service. So selecting the profile that you want to edit, or you can add a new one. We'll go ahead first and go through this one here. On the account, you're going to need to put in the incoming mail pop server address, and in my case here it's mail.shopcalsoftware.com, and we're also going to use the outgoing mail, and I'm using box 710 bluehost.com. And the reason I'm using a different one here than this is that I'm actually sending through SSL, and so it would be different if I was not sending through SSL. It would be this. There again, these settings you're going to have to get if you're doing this with email through your hosting. You're going to need to get the settings from them. They'll have it in there where you can go in your email and you can get the settings to set up. It's the same as you would set up for a lot of external email programs, and so you're going to want those settings. So we put the incoming and the outgoing, and for the purpose of the program, you're probably never going to be receiving mail, but you will be sending mail. So the outgoing mail is the most important one. Where it asks for your name, this is the name that you want to show when the email is sent in the email header, so they'll see that it came, in my case, from Preston. The email address here is the email address that they would respond to. So it's going to show that it came from Preston at shopcalsoftware.com. The user name is the user name that you actually use to log in to the email account. And in my case, it's admin at ShopCal Software. And then you put in the password. Now, it's very important that you select Alpha 5 built-in email client if it's not already selected. On the receiving, there again, like I said, we're really not going to receive anything, so you can pretty much leave this the way it is. The sending, in this case, I've got used the same settings as my incoming server. Okay, but as I was telling you up there, I was using a different server because I have SSL selected here. If I had no secure connection, then it would be a different setting over here. It would be a different setting over here, but it's not. In rare cases, you're going to have to select log in using the settings below, which again you would put in the username for the email account that you would use to log in with, and the password. And then the last most important thing is the ports. There again, if you're getting this from your hosting service, the port numbers, you're going to have to use the port numbers appropriate for the mail server and the type of connection that you're making to it. So let's go back here, and we're going to select a Gmail because a lot of people are using Gmail. And this one here, the incoming mail pop is pop.gmail.com. The outgoing mail is smtp.gmail.com. There again, the name they're going to see, the email address they're going to see, and you'll notice this is not a Gmail email address, but this is the email address they're going to see. It actually has .com out here at the end, but you know, it kind of truncates it there in that window. This is the Gmail user name for the account and the password. There again, really don't care about receiving, but in this case I've got it set to SSL. Here I found that with Gmail it's better to go ahead and select the login using the settings below, and to go ahead and put in the username, password, things like that that you would use for your Gmail, and select the SSL. And we're going to come over here to the advanced, and we're going to set it for Google Gmail. The SMTP port is going to be 465, and the POP port is going to be 995. And you want to set automatically mark messages read when selected. There again, you're not going to be checking email through the Shirt Chimp, so that's really irrelevant in that. Now, once we have all this done, we can come over here and we can perform what's called a test. So we're going to test, and we're going to see what it says here. And this may take a little while or not. And you'll see that we have a succeed, and then that was to connect to the outgoing, it connected, and the email was sent. So we have 4 succeeded messages there. That means that we have the email set up correctly. There again, main thing in the Google is the POP, and the outgoing is smtp.gmail.com. Your username, password, sending, I prefer login using the settings below for Gmail, and then port 465 for the SMTP, and port 995 for the POP. So we have those set, and then we make sure that we have the Alpha 5 built in. Once you've done that, the email is basically set up, and you can select, you know, whichever one that you want to use over here. I have the 2, but you can set whichever one you want it to use. Most of you will only have one set up in there. Once we have that done, then we can come over here to the About, and we're going to do the registration. So this copy is already registered on my machine, but we're going to go ahead and we pop that up, and we're going to click on the registration. And we're going to get to this little window that's going to pop up, and we're going to select Order Update Registration. And we come into here, you can put in your owner name, whatever you want in there. And then it's set to email, so we're going to go ahead and click OK. And because I already have a registration number, it's going to come up to that, and I'm just going to say OK again. It's going to give me a little bit of instructions. Do not change the computer code and all that. It has to be accurate. And we're going to click OK. Now what that does is that brings up, and I'm going to go ahead and move this off to the side. This brings up the email that would be sent. Now if I have all my email settings set up correctly, and we run the test, I can just click the send here, and it will send me the email with your computer code in it. And the registration numbers are computer specific, so you know, doing this registration number isn't going to do you any good. If you were having trouble getting that connection and you still need to go ahead and register, it'll still bring up this particular screen, in which case you can just copy this out. Just do a copy and go ahead and open up your regular email system and paste that in there and give it the subject modified registration request for chimps, and go ahead and email that. And once I have this information with your computer code, then I can email you the registration back. So that's basically it. Is go through, set up the email first, run the test, and then come in there and do the registration and send the email. If it won't send the email because you didn't get everything set up correctly in the email, then just copy that information out, paste it into your regular email system and email it to me, in which case we'll generate you a registration number and send it back. Now, I am going to make this particular comment. You'll notice that over there we showed using a email through a hosting service and email through Gmail. Now, some of you may have Yahoo that you're using for email. Yahoo will not allow a third-party email program to send emails through it unless you have, I believe it's called the Yahoo Plus. So you have to be paying Yahoo for the email. They won't allow it through the freebie system, and it's just their way of making you pay for that extra little bit of service of being able to send emails through them. I'm not sure about Hotmail, whether they have that limitation or not. Gmail does not, so you can send it through Gmail. The thing of it is push come to shove, you can always just set up a Gmail account, have it to send it through, and by setting those settings that we showed over here, we'll come back to this real quick. Setting these settings down here, even though it goes through Gmail, the people that receive it are going to think that it came from shotcowsoftware.com, and when they respond back, that's where it's going to go. It's not going to go to the Gmail. So we're basically using Gmail as the method to send it, but we're not using it for any other purpose in this case. That's basically about it. And until next time, more videos coming up, and we'll call it that. So if anybody needs any information, go to the support help desk if you need help, and put in a support ticket. We'll try to handle it as soon as possible. Thank you.